Welcome to the course preview and recon of the Cobbled Crown. This is not just another route. This is where legs begin to burn and dreams slowly fade into the mist. The road looks innocent at first, smooth, fast, deceptively calm, but don't be fooled. It doesn't look like much on paper, but when you hit it at full gas, you will feel it. Every watt, every heartbeat, every doubt creeping into your mind. Positioning will be everything. Go too early and you explode. Wait too long and you're swallowed by the pack. Your vision narrows. Your legs scream for mercy. This is where races are won or lost. Welcome to the Zwift Games 2026 Stage 3, where watts don't lie. The race starts fast, very fast. We open with a downhill section. Speed will be high immediately, but this is not where riders get dropped. On a descent like this, the draft is strong. If you stay in the wheels, you'll be fine. There's no reason to panic, no need to push crazy watts. The key here is positioning. Stay near the front, but stay efficient. Let gravity do the work. Save your legs, because what comes next, that's where the race will really begin. And then, it hits you. The first climb, 23rd Street, KOM reverse, and a 1.1 kilometer ascent at an average gradient of 3.5%. But don't let that average fool you, because near the top, the gradient ramps up, kicking to a brutal 11% right at the end of the climb. This is where the race begins to stretch. The pace will rise. The elastic starts to pull. If you're too far back, this is where the gaps open. Control your effort on the lower slopes. Stay seated, stay smooth, and be ready, because the final meters bite hard. That last ramp can split the group in a matter of seconds. After the first climb, there's a short descent, just enough to catch your breath, but don't relax for too long, because immediately after, you hit something even more brutal. Libby Hill, KOM reverse, a 0.7 kilometer climb with an average gradient of 3.6%. But don't be fooled by that number. The climb starts with a savage, short kicker. Right in the corner, the gradient spikes to a massive 21%. This is explosive. This is where riders can snap. If you hit that corner out of position, you'll pay for it instantly. After that brutal opening ramp, the gradient eases off and gradually flattens toward the banner, sitting around 1 to 2%. But by then, the damage may already be done. This section is all about timing, positioning, and controlled aggression. The next descent is short and on cobbles. Rolling resistance is higher here, so if you lose the pack, don't expect to get back easily. Next comes a 2.5 kilometer flat section. This is your opportunity to recover after the climbs. The pace might still be high, but this is where you need to be smart. Stay in the draft. Stay efficient. There's no reason to push big watts at the front. Ease up, control your breathing, and let your legs reset. If you manage this section well, you'll be ready for what comes next. Then comes a 1.2 kilometer climb at around 5 to 6%. This one is more steady. No extreme spikes, no sudden ramps, just sustained pressure. You'll need to find your rhythm here. Settle into a strong, controlled effort. It's long enough to hurt, but short enough to stay aggressive if you're feeling good. Hold your position, keep the power consistent, and don't let the gaps open. Then comes 8 kilometers of flat road. At first, it looks like a place to settle in, but at the 10-kilometer mark, you hit the cobbles for 2.5 kilometers. Rolling resistance increases here. The draft becomes less forgiving. It will be harder to stay in the wheels, so you'll need to sustain pressure. Keep the power steady, stay focused, and don't let small gaps turn into race-ending splits. A short downhill comes next, followed by 2.5 kilometers of flat road. Use this stretch to recover as much as possible. Stay in the draft, ease your watts, and let your legs reset. This is your chance to regain strength before the next climb. Focus, stay smooth, and be ready for the effort ahead. The last 4.5 kilometers will break riders, and only the strongest will come out on top. First up is Libby Hill, a 0.64 kilometer climb with an average gradient of 6%. But don't be fooled by the average. In the corners, the gradient spikes up to 16%. This is a place where positioning and timing are critical. Hit it wrong, and you'll pay immediately. And if that wasn't enough, the second half of the climb runs over cobbles. Rolling resistance increases dramatically. Legs that were holding strong start to fail. Every pedal stroke requires focus, power, and grit. This is where races are won and lost. Manage your effort, stay in the wheels if you can, and push only when you know you can sustain it. At the top, only the well-prepared and the strongest riders will have anything left to attack, sprint, or defend their position. After a very short descent, you hit the 23rd Street KOM. This is a short climb, just 0.26 kilometers, but it hits hard with a maximum average gradient of 9.3%. It comes immediately after the previous climb, so the legs are already fatigued. Despite its short length, it will sting. Timing, gearing, and rhythm are crucial here. Go too hard and you'll pay. Go too easy and you risk losing contact. The next descent is a bit longer, just long enough to let your legs recover, your heart rate settle, and your lungs take a deeper breath. Use this section to shake out the stiffness from the previous climbs. Roll smoothly and stay relaxed in the saddle. It's the calm before the storm, the perfect moment to refocus, refuel mentally, and prepare for the final 1.2 kilometers. This last stretch is where positions can still change. Everything comes down to these final moments. The climb begins with a gradient of 7 to 8%. Push too hard and the legs will scream. Pace it right and you might still have something left. The gradient eases out in the last 300 meters, dropping to just 1 to 2%. If you've saved a sprint, this is your moment. Go for it. But for most, after 3 brutal climbs, legs are empty, lungs burning, and the finish line feels like a victory parade. If you can still smile, and if you're still standing at the end, congratulations, you survived. Or maybe the Zwift Games 2026 just let you live to suffer another day. Thanks for following along on this route recon. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to subscribe to Watts Don't Lie and smash that like button. Stay strong, keep pedaling, and I'll see you in the next Zwift Games recon.